Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, your go-to source for mastering Valorant, exploring various intriguing topics, and becoming an Omen main. In this episode, we're uncovering a game-changing technique for Omen players that you should be using. Today's focus is the art of one-way smokes. I'll be guiding you through the strategies that I use in-game, and hopefully you can use them too. Stick with my videos, and by the end of this year, you'll be a better player than I am. Right, let's jump right in. For those of you new to this term, what exactly are one-way smokes? In a nutshell, they're smoke mechanics that are used by certain agents in Valorant. The great news is, Omen is by far the best one-way smoker in the game. These uniquely positioned smokescreens that allow you to see your enemies without them seeing you. It's like having a one-way mirror in a spy movie. You have the visual advantage, while your opponents are left guessing. These smokes are placed in such a way that they block the enemy's line of sight completely, while you can peek through a small gap or angle. This gap is almost invisible to your opponents, giving you a significant edge in ambushes. Unlike regular smokes that cover an area for both teams equally, one-way smokes are all about asymmetry. You get to control the engagements, force enemies into unfavorable positions, and even get those crucial early picks in a round. Mastering one-way smokes as Omen isn't just about knowing where to place them, it's about understanding the flow of the game, predicting the enemy movements, and turning the tide in your favor. If you're still unsure of what a one-way smoke is, don't worry, you'll be chopping ankles by the end of this video. Let me show you that same one-way smoke, only this time with a phantom. Position yourself B lane, and when you hear the enemy footsteps, place your smoke on top of this tiny lamp. This is what it'll look like for them, and this is what it'll look like for you. Now, remember what I said about these smokes. Understand the enemy movements and try not to be too predictable. How about try the same one-way smoke, but instead of waiting B lane, jump on top of the table on workshop. As you can see, they're just as dead pushing this position as the one I showed you earlier. Once you start using one-way smokes, you'll force the enemy to rethink their plays. Remember, use this small table so the enemy can't see your feet and you get an advantage. Then look for the tiny lamp.
Nice.
Once the enemy realize that you're a serious Omen player, they might think about splitting their B pushes through mid connector too. Well, guess what? Omen knows one ways for that too. On mid connector, place a smoke on top of this ledge. Make sure to drag your mouse slightly lower so it clamps down. You'll see it visibly clip down slightly. This little detail makes a big difference. Note to anyone that sees this smoke, do not push it, you'll die. It's that simple. In this round, I realized the enemy were tired of being killed by my one-way smokes on B, so they think going mid through connector will work better. Use your one-ways to support your team too. Let's take a look at the map here and admire the total annihilation.
Shadows traveling.
Multiple enemies mid, no more.
And just before this beautiful smoke fades, I hit them with another. They either run to B again or this happens.
One enemy remaining.
They died underneath our smokes.
Died underneath our boots.
The beautiful thing about this smoke is that you can support your team with it from anywhere on the map. This time I'm playing on A and I one-way mid connector. And just like that, someone catches a fade.
Precision kill.
Round B. One enemy remaining.
Cover going out.
Now, it is worth noting that if you're planning to use a one-way smoke, also plan to use the Phantom. Why use the Phantom over the Vandal to do this play? Well, it's quite simple really. First, there's less bullet spread from a Phantom, so spraying through a smoke is easier. Second, if you're going to spray through a smoke, you don't want them to see your bullet traces. This is what you see if you try to spray through a smoke with a Vandal. And with the Phantom, you simply don't see them. Let's take a look at this smoke again, only this time we use two one-ways to frustrate the enemy. This forces them to try and push it, and like I always say, don't push my smokes, friend.
Pitiful.
I bet they're thinking, let's wait for this one-way smoke to disappear. Then we push. Unfortunately, you either rotate to my inevitable connector one-way smoke, or you push this one and die.
My ultimate is ready.
Spike down B.
Enemy spotted B.
Blinding.
Now we're supporting Silver with a slightly altered one-way smoke. This time I've placed it on top of the workshop so he can stand on the ledge instead and make a quick escape if needed. place this smoke here. This helps Sova with his wallbang cannon, and after successfully taking out Sky and Jet, my one-way smoke disappears and he's met with a far less impressive smoking agent, Brimstone. Time to take him out in Sova's name. There are a ton of one-way smokes on Ascent that make Omen unstoppable with a good team. There's this beauty, which makes defusing the spike almost impossible.
Shadows traveling.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
You can also stop a team pushing tree. With a smoke on this lamp, yes, that's right, Omen is obsessed with lamps and knitting apparently.
It helps me
Solo market.
focus.
One enemy
Now what do
remaining.
you care?
Now let's talk about bind quickly. Use this one-way smoke at any point in the round. At the beginning to stop the enemy from pushing, or in this specific case, to provide cover so we can defuse the spike.
One enemy remaining.
Ready.
Nice.
I used to avoid playing Omen on Breeze. My team would complain and ask that I play Viper instead. Well, those days are over. Since the Breeze map changes, Omen has returned to my arms. Let me show you this OP one-way smoke. Hold on, let me just take care of Jet, Cypher, and ISO.
Spike planted.
3 killed.
Right, this is the smoke I wanted to show you, and again, it can be used at any point in the round, including right at the beginning to stop the enemy from pushing.
Enemy spotted A.
One enemy remaining.
Revealing area.
The spike is used.
This round starts off with the standard Omen execute on Breeze A site. Block off the middle of A pyramids, as that's where you'll most likely get the first contact from the enemy. Then block off the cross, followed by a blind through any smoke campers. This gave us a clear entry onto site. If you notice, my smokes block off the same lines of sight that a Viper wall would. I plant the spike and proceed for further control. I take out Sabine, close to ramp, and send Sage back into spawn. Now it's time for a one-way smoke that's almost impossible to push. If you're playing with a Viper and she uses her wall for entry, you can throw this smoke at the same time, and your second one on ramp. That's how you execute A side with Omen and Viper. Fortunately, we don't need a Viper in this game, we've got an Omen.
Reset the map.
One enemy remaining.
Wait, hold
He
on.
went towards back, he went towards back. Nice job, dude.
Omen is incredibly underestimated on Breeze, and hopefully you'll give him a try next time. Don't listen to your teammates that say pick Viper instead. They haven't watched my videos. Now I have a lot of one-way content to show you, and also on maps that Omen is definitely king, unlike Breeze. Take Haven for example. I have a video coming up that'll help you out with that. But for now, I'll let you digest what you've gained so far and invite you back again in the near future. Please consider liking and subscribing, and if you're anything like my teammate Viper, subscribe and I'll teach you that one-way smoke.
Omen, teach me that one.
Oh.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, he's moved.